What's up, everybody? Welcome to the episode. Camera's over here. Cockeyed. Doing something different. Haven't done it in a while. It's different, but it's familiar. If you've listened to my watch along episodes, you know I stream on Twitch, sort of. Watch the episode and then post that at as the episode. But this, we're not doing a watch along. Fuck no, we're not going. I'm not gonna put you through that bullshit. I already saw the movie for the second time in the history of watching that film. What movie were we talking about? Terminator: The Genesis, not the Genesis. Terminator Genesis. What, the one with the bitch from Game of Thrones? Now, people who obviously loved the first and second Terminator movies, which the second one is by far the best one, personally, because that was the first one I ever saw. I never saw the second one. I mean, the first one. I saw the second one first. So already I'm all fucked up at who's what. Why is she running from that dude if that dude's supposed to be helping her and this and that? Didn't know that the Terminator was the bad guy in the first movie and Kyle Reese was the baby daddy who went back in time and my own grandpa kind of situation. So, Terminator franchise is probably the most popular franchise. Started in 84 with the first one. Then the sequel came out in 91, but supposedly it took place in 97, somewhat, because that's when the apocalypse was supposed to happen or whatever. Well, then we had Part 3. The Salvation, we don't even call it Part 4. They just Terminator Salvation, which I actually liked because we went on the other side of this whole war against the machines and whatever, because we already saw in Part 3 Judgment Day happen. So there was supposed to be a trilogy. It was supposed to spawn a trilogy of, being the whole war with the machines and whatever. And never happened. For whatever reason, box office reasons, whatever. Never happened. So in 2015, around this time, Arnold was out of office and he wanted to get back into the... My stream is all messed up. Forgetting everything else, I'm streaming on Twitch. If you're watching the stream and it's getting choppy or whatever, don't worry. You can go to the podcast and listen to what I'm saying or whatever. So, back to the movie. Genesis throws a wrench into everything. Like I said, Arnold Schwarzenegger came back to the franchise. How can we make him? He kind of did a cameo in the Salvation. They used a computer generated image or whatever, CGI, whatever, now de-aged or whatever. So he comes back. He plays an old Terminator. Now, oh my God, I don't know how to start with this thing because there's so many different things or whatever to bring up and talk about besides what happens in the movie. Like I said, Arnold comes back, but how do you put Arnold Schwarzenegger back into this role that he played in his younger self played, and at the same time the motherfucker's like 60 something years old or whatever, 60, 70. I think he's like my parents' age. He's like 60 something at this time or whatever. And so we'll just use this whole storyline of, since the skin or whatever is an outer organic tissue or whatever, and inside is just a metal skeleton, the outside can age, since it's human tissue, can age just like a normal person. So he'll be a predator. He'll be a Terminator sent. what's going on? He'll be a Terminator sent back 9 years prior to the 84 Terminator. And he'll be sent back to protect Sarah Connor. See, the whole genesis, the film itself was supposed to spawn this whole another trilogy. It was supposed to spawn another trilogy. It was supposed to. It's kind of what they did with Halloween. They say, you know, fuck all the other sequels. This is gonna be a new story with some of the same familiar background plots or whatever. Hence the whole. In the beginning of the movie, we see them coming and killing the first Terminator. So that kind of, quote unquote, scraps the first movie. Because this time, Sarah Connor is being raised by Pops. Which is weird. They call them Pops. When they call them Pops, every time they called them Pops, I couldn't help but think of the Wayans brothers, you know, Pops. Bop, 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 bang, 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 bang. You know, John Witherspoon from Friday. Nonetheless, they destroy the initial Terminator, and then I like how they did the cop that was gonna arrest Kyle Reese in the department store. He saves his life. He grows up. He becomes older, whatever. Which we'll get to that later. They bring him back in the same movie. Yeah, we're gonna have to get to that fucking part of wow. Since they went back in time, like every other Terminator movie. Oh, went back in time to protect them, but these motherfuckers went forward in time. What the fuck? Not just forward. They went to it wasn't present day because came out in 2015, but for the story wise, Judgment Day happens in 2017. Holy shit. It could confuse even the smartest of dumb people. And I ain't that smart. So, oh my god.
Like, just give me some fucking popcorn.
Okay, I'm getting to it. Fucking don't worry about the voices in my head. Yeah, I like playing with the soundboard. What's the other one?
You're a dumbass.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, Derek.
You're a dumbass.
Okay, got it. So, Genesis, like I said, throws a whole monkey wrench in the whole original Terminator film because they're trying to set up its own story. So, while Kyle Reese was going into the whole time sphere, I keep doing this shit over here when the camera's like right here. Hello, America. Story time we're doing now. This shit's in my way. So anything about Twitch is that everything is in the fucking way. There we go. How's that? Can you see my pretty face? I'm an ugly bugger. Anyway, so back to the bullshit. Kyle Reese sees, I call him Doctor Who. I can't think of the dude. Matt Smith, who is actually Skynet in human form or in physical form. This motherfucker, as he's in time sphere going back into 84, hijacks John Connor, causing these set effects. Now, with the whole Genesis spawning a whole new trilogy, they would have told the story of, well, this is what happened. This is John Connor, the bad guy, Terminator hybrid, being sent to 2017 to start the whole Judgment Day and all that shit. And then they're gonna realize they're gonna find out, oh, who sent Pops to 1974, 1975, and then who's behind the text messages. Well, no, wait, I'm confusing that one with Dark Fate. But who sent? They were gonna tie up the loose ends from this film. This film sucked so bad they just scrapped it all together. They said fuck you, and they came up with Dark Fate, which isn't as bad as people said it was. It was pretty good. I don't like the fact that they killed John Connor, because they just scrapped the whole Terminator 3 Salvation and of course the fifth one, this one. But they used Edward Furlong. At least he sort of came back. He wasn't all methed out, but so I don't get this fucking Terminator movie. it just has too many loose ends at the end of the movie. Besides the fact that Kyle Reese is finally gonna bang Sarah Connor. What's up? Get you some. Get some of that Game of Thrones Moon Nanny. Poo Nanny. Why did I say Moon Nanny? Anyways, so John Connor's the bad guy. Like, why were you gonna make him? He's the whole center of this whole universe of the savior or whatever, which I think Salvation kind of did pretty good with this whole, this inner battle of adult John Connor trying to live up to the expectations of, of all these things that he's grown up believing and stuff. They should have made that into a mini series or web series, whatever, Netflix. But Genesis is its own little fucking bag of bullshit. It's crazy to think that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, even at this age, can still kick ass. Because he essentially plays the same role, in a way, in Dark Fate. He plays an older version of the Terminator sent back in time to protect or kill or whatever. But I'm not here to talk about Dark Fate, but if you think about it, why didn't he kill himself? You're supposed to, okay, your mission's done. Okay, go jump into a lava pit, burn the fuck up, and adios, hasta la vista, He stays around and he fucking gets a wife and a kid. What the fuck? But in Genesis, he's raising Sarah Connor. In 1984, they have this, they have to kill the first Terminator to get the chip out of the skull. And that's the only way to power this new time machine that they're going to use to go forward in time. Now, they know they're supposed to go to 1997 to stop Judgment Day. Well, Kyle Reese comes in and no, it's not 1997. It's actually 2017. That's because this cloud, what we know as a cloud service, or this whole I think, it foreshadows everything that we have now with Alexa, Alexa, power my car. Warm. I don't want to be in a cold car in this winter storm. I want to drive a nice warm car. Power my car. Alexa, what's the weather like? Oh, everything's connected, and I don't dig it. To each their own. If that's yours, quite cool. I mean, I still got a freaking alarm clock on my bed, and I still check the weather and stuff on my phone. Phone. It's basically my Alexa drug, I guess. But they don't go to 1997. They go to 2017, and for whatever reason, they land up in the middle of the road. Now, I don't know if the people that made Dark Fate took elements of this movie, because they ended up in the middle of a freaking highway. The whole old Terminator growing up, whatever. It's just fucking weird. Maybe they liked parts of this movie and they wanted to put that into this other movie, whatever. Who knows? So they go to 2017 and then they realize John's there, which trips everybody the fuck out. He walks in. He's supposed to be this FBI agent or whatever, and he's proving to Kyle and Sarah Connor that, hey, Mom and Dad, and you haven't told them yet? Hey, you're my dad, Kyle Reese. That's why I helped raise you, because you're my daddy. That's a weird dynamic there, but Terminator comes, supposed to pick him up in the road. He was supposed to pick him up when they dropped out of the sky. He's been chilling for 30 years. He fucking ends up late because of traffic. And they use different types of comedy moments, which hits and misses. I'm more of a keep it action. There was little ha-has in Dark Fate. Not as much as in this movie. This one had every other, almost like a comedy action film, almost kind of like a Lethal Weapon. Which is probably one franchise I might get into. I don't know which one of the they're all badass. I really like Lethal Weapon ones. But which one of them is the worst one? Everybody loves them. Even the fourth one. I'm mad they should make another one. But I guess, wait a minute. is Murtaugh dead? Shit, I didn't think about that. That's that completely out of left field. Who knows what the fuck is going on in my head right now? But so yeah, John Connor's a bad guy. John Connor's ends up becoming like this whole like upgraded Terminator. It's like a hybrid of an actual human and machine, and it's just really crazy. Like of course, all Terminators, like after T2, oh, you can transform it in, like the liquid guy, you can transform to anybody, which I did think was pretty badass that they brought in a different actor to be the T-1000. They brought the T-1000 from the second movie, and they put him in the first movie setting for the fifth movie. What? The same features. I wish they would have brought back Robert Patrick, but I mean, he was young then, and he's kind of saggy. You know, it would have been the same. Like, oh, I came back 2 years ago to kill you, and I stayed around. Wrong. So that sucks. But at least they got a new actor to do the T-1000, and he killed it. And then the way they had everything planned, because they knew what was going to go down on this night, so they had everything planned. They had this whole ceiling full of like acid, so when they got him in this warehouse building where the time machine was at, they were like, okay, we're gonna go send him through here, gonna funnel him, he's gonna chase us, boom boom boom, set a trap. That motherfucker turned into liquid ice and just shattered it 1,000 pieces. So John Connor's a bad guy. They blow up in the freaking Golden State Bridge, and then they end up at Skynet. Now Skynet has become so many things throughout the years. First, in 84, it was, I can only compare it to like old 80s computers, big old chunky, like click, 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 brrr, the way you fucking log into the internet. Then in the 90s, it got a little bit more modern. 2000s, a lot more modern. Then this is the 2010s. Hell of a lot more modern with tablets, phones, computers, laptops, computer chips in the cars, and all this crazy shit. And so Skynet was no more, basically, and became something different. Genesis was Cyberdyne. That's what I was saying. The company is called Cyberdyne that created Skynet. Well, they created this Genesis program, which was going to connect all your devices. Do you sound familiar? Echo, Alexa. Just connect all your devices and whatever and sync up. And that was going to be the Skynet of this movie. Or not the Skynet, but the program that becomes self-aware and just says, fuck it, launch the nukes. And so John Connor, who's the Terminator and in cahoots with Skynet, which is, isn't the physical form, but when they go into Cyberdyne, you start to see Skynet age from a child into its adult form, which takes the likeness of Matt Smith, aka Doctor Who. He is just taunting Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese while they're trying to set bombs and get ready to just crash the motherfucker down. Throughout the battle, of course, the Terminator Pops is just getting fucked up. Like every Terminator movie, you gotta have Arnold Schwarzenegger with half a face. One's like, I'll be back, and then the other face is just nothing but metal and like a red eye and like So throughout and he gets his arm ripped off. All this shit happens to poor Arnold, only to be redeemed. I thought this was the coolest thing ever. I thought this was pretty cool. And it really sucks they didn't, the movie sucked itself, but like it didn't turn into something else. Was at the end of the movie when the whole building is blown up to pieces and they're stuck in like the safe, I would call it the panic room, to protect them from the blast and everything. Pops comes in, but you don't know it's Pops because you think that motherfucker died, and because he's all fucking mangled after he kills John, and he falls into this pond, like underneath the I guess what's called the time machine at Cyberdyne, the actual time machine they use in the movie, but the beginning of it, and you would think that's it, but then at these fucking T-1000 claws go, you know, through the door and rips it open. You're like, fuck, T-1000 is here. Fuck, couldn't get any worse. It's Pops. He has got this new coating, if you will, of now his face is put together. You know, it heal, and it wouldn't. Yeah, it would heal him. I would say it would heal him, and it makes all this. Like you think, like, oh, that motherfucker's dead. He's not coming back for the sequel or whatever. He's done. Damn, that sucks. Erases all that shit, and now he looks like he did at the beginning of the movie. Because at the end of the movie, they go back to talk to Kyle Reese's younger self, because Kyle Reese, who was going back in time, like throughout the whole film series, Kyle Reese was born after Judgment Day, and he grew up in that world of, you know, man versus machine and survival of the, you know, like any way you can. But as he's going back in time, he's having these memories of a different life. He's like, I don't know this life, but that's me. That's my parents. That's our house. What the fuck is going on? And it's since Judgment Day was ultimately changed or whatever thing was altered, and it's now 2017's Judgment Day or whatever. So he grew up. I think he's like a 12-year-old kid or something, and so there's this memory of the kid looking in the mirror talking about Genesis is Skynet, Judgment Day is this day, 2017, go to 2017, go to this day, and he just keeps telling himself in the mirror because that's what his older self tells him at the end of the movie. Now, which one out of all the Terminator movies do you think is the worst one? Now, it was kind of hard because they're ranked on different websites and personal experience. Of course, T2 is the top dog. First Terminator is probably going to be underneath it. And then Salvation for me. Those are my top three. T3 and Dark Fate right now. I think Dark Fate would beat it. And then Terminator 3. And then this one. That would probably be my ranking of those movies. Why did... I don't understand why people didn't like Dark Fate. I guess they didn't like the story of, okay, well, now John is dead, so what's the fuck? What do you do with Sarah Connor? Like, the chick who is ultimately being hunted in that movie is the John Connor. Like, Sarah thinks... I don't even know I'm talking about it right now. Maybe it's just because it's not a bad movie. It's actually pretty good. I mean, it's action-filled and it's different, but not corny different. And it wasn't trying to like, oh, we're going to change the first movie and do this. No, it was like a whole nother thing. And it kind of like erased, I think, part 3 in Salvation. Well, Salvation was, well, yeah, all that shit. It erased everything else after T2. But that's about it. That's all I can think about right now. Didn't want to... I think I'm going about 20 minutes, so that's pretty good. Ultimately, if you want to hear this episode, which you've been watching or listening or whatever, I think my stream is going pretty good. My upload speeds are pretty good. I don't do Twitch a lot, and when I do, I usually play like Super Mario Brothers or something for like 5 minutes and then whatever. This is something different. I did a watch long a few months back. I haven't done it in a while. I might do one, I don't know, on Twitch. But this was a different option to record and do the body of the podcast, live recording. And then if you want to go back and listen to the intro, the outro, and then my sponsor spots, you know, of course, that's going to be in that podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and of course, Spotify. All my social media links and stuff, and of course, links to the podcast feeds and stuff, going to be at linktree.com. This you over here, Linktree. Shut Up Popcorn. There you're going to get all the links. And then that's going to be it. Shit, that's a fucking outro right there. Fuck, got to save me 5 seconds. All in all, that's going to be it. The next I think this is the second to last episode of this season. So that's it, y'all. I'm gonna say that's it again. Fuck it. That's it. See you on the other side. Peace.